What's up, YouTube? Today we are going to make a deer camp special, and it's a venison taco soup, and it's made in a Dutch oven with charcoal, and it's super easy, super simple, and everybody loves it. So first thing you gotta do is get the charcoal ready. Oh, and if I'm doing anything wrong, put it in the comments, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of learned this as I went. Nobody ever taught me anything. We'll let that get going. All right, so first things first, we'll get all this. So right here, this was towards the end of my processing. So that right there is my ground venison. It's already thawed, and it has, this right here is 1.3 pounds. Normally I do a pound to 2 pounds. It really doesn't matter. You know, you just basically adjust your broth, how much beef broth you put in there. But the next ingredient is going to be 1 can of great value whole kernel corn. Whenever you put this in, you want to drain it before you throw the corn in. Then you got your black beans, again, great value. This stuff can't be beat. You got your normal original rotel. We buy the big taco seasoning because we do a lot of taco meats with venison, and it hides some of the gaminess if there is any. So there's that. And here's the hidden one, a ranch seasoning packet. These two, the ranch and the taco seasoning, will be put on the venison as it's being cooked. The rest will get added in. And then the last thing is your beef broth. Ignore the cat in the background that's looking for scraps. So your beef broth is your last one. So I guess what we're going to do now, oh geez, that's kind of high. What we're going to do now is just give time for these charcoal briquettes to heat up and get white hot, and then I'll put them put a base on the ground. At deer camp, this is all I use for this whole process normally. So, you know, obviously cut the venison bags open. I use the blade to open the cans. I use a little can opener on it. I don't like packing unnecessary stuff, even if it's sitting in my truck most of the time. I like that I can fit all of those ingredients in the cast iron, in the Dutch oven itself, without having to, you know, pack a cooler and all that. The only reason I even have the cooler out here right now is just to have something to set the stuff on to show you guys. So, pretty cool. But today, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using this spoon. All right, so this is where my inexperience comes into play. We have some charcoal that is turning white. We have some on the top that's still black, but this is when I go ahead and dump it and get ready to start cooking. If this is not right, put it in the comments, because I really don't know. So we'll go ahead and y'all gotta bear with me. It is freezing cold. My hands are numb. So at this time, I go ahead and toss my Dutch oven on them. And it does not take long for this to get heated up, so I try to be quick here. I pull out my handy dandy Leatherman, the free 99 Leatherman. And it's got a little bit of squirrel hair on it from where I shot a couple squirrels last week. Take that. It's usually not this stinking hard. And again, like I said earlier, this is about 1.5 pounds venison. See, that one came out how it usually does, just straight out. But we get that tossed in there, and I usually like to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the Dutch oven, but today I decided not to because I usually don't bring it to deer camp, but if I do, I toss it in there. And then you just start stirring this. Start mixing it up. Take your taco seasoning. Do a healthy amount of taco seasoning. Take your ranch packet. Toss it in there and just mix it all up. And you can do your ranch after you put the broth in, but it doesn't really make a difference. So you get this. Once you get all the venison brown, you go ahead and pour the broth in. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit more taco seasoning, just because I can smell that I don't think there's quite enough, so I add just a little bit more. So right now, we're just letting the venison finish cooking and browning through, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this can open. If you got one of these, you don't piss your wife off taking out your can opener and losing it. Not that I did that. So I usually open it about halfway, just like that. You can pour it out. You don't have to waste your time cutting it all. Go ahead and mix this venison up. Yep. Alright, so the venison is all browned, and first thing we pour in is a beef broth, and I use the whole thing on this. So pour that in, give it a good stir. I try to make sure nothing sticking on the bottom. That oil helps. If you put some olive oil in the bottom of that, it helps a lot. But I didn't, so kind of make sure nothing's sticking. You take that original rotel, pour it in with the juice and everything. So here you're going to take the black beans, and I like to drain it. I don't like, I'll leave some in, but the majority of it I like to drain. So you drain that, and then you just dump the whole can in. And then you do the same thing with the corn. Take the corn, drain it without trying not to lose any of your corn. And you just mix it all in. So at this point, I go ahead and grab the lid, toss it on there, and I let it cook for about 10 minutes. Alright, so the 10 minutes is up. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So this is piping hot. So I'm going to take this little handy dandy thing that you can buy with your cast iron Dutch oven. Pull it off. Just set it on the ground right here. And now that that's on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and serve myself a bowl. And this is kind of how it ends up at deer camp too. Oh. Now, a lot of people like to keep the fluid in there, especially when it's cold. It helps it hold its heat a lot better, but I don't like having all the juices in there. And if you make this at home, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are, if you make this at home and you put just a little bit of sour cream and some cheddar cheese in there, it turns out real good. And then take some tortilla chips and eat it. But if it's cold enough, I'm gonna try to take me a bite real quick, or if it cools off enough, I should say. Boy, that's hot. I could eat that 5 days a week. Man, that's good. But holy crap, it's hot. Honestly, I think the corn could have been done a little bit longer. So, you know, the 10 minutes is just a guesstimate. When we're at the deer camp or, you know, cooking at the house, I normally don't time that. I just kind of guess 10 minutes. So you could probably do 15 and get your corn done just a little bit more. If you like the texture in the corn, 10 minutes is perfect. Man, that's probably my favorite venison dish. I'd take that over backstraps. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out and let this cool down and bring it inside for the family, for my wife and kids. My daughter, she's 3 and she loves it. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys liked kind of the recipe style videos, I'll do more. I don't have a ton of venison recipes, but you know, I usually kill at least 4 deer a year, so we have quite a few venison recipes that we really enjoy and our friends really enjoy. So all right, so I just went inside and I took the Dutch oven in with all the venison taco soup inside as well. And while I was inside, I went ahead and I mixed in what I usually throw in there, which is some cheddar cheese and sour cream. So that's what you can't really see it. So that's what it looks like with all the goodies mixed in, and the taste difference is huge. I'm a big boy. I like my fats, and that cheddar cheese and sour cream melted in there is so freaking good. Man, venison taco soup by itself, phenomenal. Super easy to make. Just a great all-around deer camp special. But if you have the opportunity to make it at home, and really you could do this at deer camp too. Just pack sour cream and cheddar cheese, and it is a night and day difference when you mix that in. So much better. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up so I can eat this in peace, and I appreciate you guys watching. So we'll see you next time, and if you liked what you saw, you know, drop a comment or just let me know so I know to keep doing these or videos similar to these.